Hello everyone, Coming Clean here. Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl has had a turbulent first few months, and even though some good things are made to try to save the game, the question is, will it be enough? Let's take a closer look. In short, after Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl was one of the games available through PlayStation Plus for the month of June, you were actually able to find opponents, something that was previously all but impossible. You can see some of my early matches rolling in the background as me and my opponents jump around, pressing buttons and see what happens. For the record, I've only played the game on PS4 and PS5, so I have no experience in how easy or hard it is to find opponents on other systems, which actually brings us to one major issue with the game: the lack of crossplay and also the lack of cross-gen. This means that if you play the game on Nintendo Switch, for example, you can't play against Xbox or PC players, and if you play the game on PS4, you can't even play against PS5 players. I will get back to that a bit later, but in this short video I want to cover what has happened with the game so far, the steps the developer has taken to save the game, and finally what else needs to be done in my opinion. Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, developed by Ludosity and Fairplay Labs, was released in October 2021 and had a great hype surrounding it. A lot of popular fighting game-focused YouTube channels covered the game, and the developer released several tutorial videos showcasing advanced mechanics like wave dashing and an overall strong focus on competitive play. After release, however, the player count dwindled quickly on all platforms, and it was almost impossible to find opponents just weeks after release. One of the major complaints trending on the internet was the lack of voice acting. This is understandable, considering the recognizability of all these characters, and the absence of their iconic voices does feel off somehow. Another concern players had was the lack of items. Nothing that bothered the competitive crowd, of course, but in a party game like this, pleasing the casual crowd is very important. So what has been done in order to turn things around? It was probably planned from the very beginning, but Garfield and Shredder were added as free DLC characters. A patch released in June of 2022 also added the long-awaited voices and items, just prior to the game becoming available on PlayStation Plus. When a game is included as a monthly game on PlayStation Plus, its popularity usually spikes, and this was the case for Nick All-Stars Brawl 2. Finding games instantly on either the PS4 or PS5 version of the game was no problem. Now that a few weeks have passed though, you can more or less not find any games at all on the PS5 version. The PS4 version has a lot more users obviously, but even here it's hard to find games. Competitive play has long queue times, and I've yet to see a public lobby. The non-competitive quick play is probably your best bet, but even here opponents don't appear with any sort of consistency. Note that this is my personal experience, and other factors do come into play, like where you live for example. Another thing that was announced in conjunction with the PS Plus inclusion was the game's first paid DLC. Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot is available right now, and Rocky and You Neutron from Jimmy Neutron will be released later this year. All three characters are also available in a season pass. It remains to be seen how much all these things will affect the game's popularity, but at least it signals a long-term commitment from the developer. So what else can be done to save Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl? The current problem is the lack of players, and those who do play the game are spread out over multiple platforms. Adding crossplay so that all players can play against each other would be a tremendous help for this game. At least cross-gen needs to be available to let players from different versions of Xboxes and PlayStations battle against each other. I have no special insight in these matters, but I just assume that there are all sorts of obstacles from both a programming and a licensing perspective. I am not saying it will be an easy task to make the game's popularity on par with the initial ambitions. The platform fighting genre seems to be quite a tough market in regard to Smash Bros. Dominance, and games like Brawlout and Rivals of Aether on consoles have come and gone, and it's more or less only Brawlhalla that has reached any real success. I for one really like Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. It has solid gameplay and great potential as a competitor in the genre. That is however it for this video. Please consider subscribing for weekly gaming content. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Coming Clean, and I will see you next time. Take care!